Hey everybody, Jeff here. I am sitting here with Aaron Kinn. Aaron's down there in Dallas. A little warmer. It's a little warmer down there today than it is in Colorado.
Yeah, we're close to 60, I think, today. So
There you go. It's like 40 here. So snow on Wednesday. But Aaron was here over Christmas. When you were up there skiing in Breckenridge, kids got chased by a moose.
Dodging a moose. My kids almost got hit.
So Aaron and I, we go way back. I met Aaron my first year in real estate. We actually met at a Craig Proctor conference that we were going to. Where was that? It was in Phoenix, I think the first one. The first one I went to was at the JW Marriott in Phoenix.
JW Marriott in Phoenix.
Out there, great place.
2003.
Yeah, way back. So anyway, but we met there, and both of us were part of Craig Proctor's coaching program. We went on to be part of his Platinum program. I was part of it for 9 years. How long were you part of that, Aaron?
I think like 13, I believe. 13
years. So, but I want Aaron to just kind of tell his story. Aaron made the move over here, coming up on his 2-year anniversary here at eXp. I got mine next month, and just want to talk about that a little bit. And so, real quick, kind of tell your story a little bit, Aaron, just so people can really connect with who you are and where you come from and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I was got into real estate from an ideal position. I was a high school art teacher and baseball and basketball coach. So
that's perfect for real estate.
Perfect training, right?
Yeah.
So got into real estate. I did it part-time for about a year while I was still teaching. Then did it full-time, was doing okay. Got into Craig Proctor and my career really took off from there. I was with a big brokerage at the time, the old KW brokerage.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I left KW in 2009, opened my own brokerage, which I had for 9 years before I came over to eXp. So I was my own broker owner for 9 years.
Okay, cool. How many agents? What was the biggest your company ever got in terms of number of agents?
Biggest, most 10 agents, 3 full-time admin. When I came to eXp, I was 8 and 2 full-time admin, which was an admin, a reporter like to the state, and then she was more part-time, and then I had a full-time inside sales agent. And most we ever did transaction-wise, 307 was my best year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that was nuts, but
it's a lot of deals. You're still alive, still kicking.
Still living.
What kind of volume are you talking about? Like with that?
That 42 million.
42 million?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know I reached out to you a couple years ago. You had seen eXp, I think up to that point. You'd seen it, but you just hadn't really dug into it in a big way. Or tell a little bit about that. I mean, I know you know.
Yeah, I actually saw eXp the first time in 2016.
Okay.
Someone had mentioned it. I was like, what is this eXp thing? I think at that time, or maybe in 2015, there was only like 500 or 600 agents in the whole company.
Right.
And I was like, no interest. And then I saw it again about a year later. Someone tried to pitch it to me, and I was like, oh, how does this help for a broker owner? I get 100% of the commission right now. So how does that benefit me? And they really couldn't answer the question, so I didn't carry forward with the conversation. And then you came and talked to me about 15 months after that you were able to get me the information or put me in touch with the people that could answer those questions. And, thankfully at that time I was ready and I was open to listening because we were going through a little transition team-wise. Expenses were mounting significantly from building space and things like that. So the cloud-based everything was really speaking to me at that point.
Okay. That's a huge expense, I think.
Yeah, we were like $4,000 a month, and that's before paying any of the people that sat in those offices. It was just to have to build.
Can I ask you if you remember? And I don't know if you remember, like just marketing costs. I know you had some people on, on payroll and stuff. Like, do you remember, like just on a monthly basis, what was your monthly overhead?
Dude, that was bad. I was probably close to 28 to 32,000
a month.
That was people paying me a salary, and then also keeping state reporting, insurance, marketing expenses, and then the building, of course.
Right. So when I showed you this and we got you those answers and stuff, like what were some of the things that were just jumping out at you? I mean, obviously the being able to pull back on that building cost. I understand that part, but what's some of the other things that really stood out to you in terms of just like, okay, like there's something about this that I really need to be serious about looking at. Like,
Of course, the expense thing, it was cheap to be in it as far as the monthly cost wasn't substantial. I could get rid of the building. So I saw a lot of things that I could take off my plate, the E&O insurance, the person that I had to report all my transactions to the state, make sure every, T's crossed, I's dotted, that kind of stuff. All the liability from all my agents rolled up to me. So that was a big kind of release. But then I think when I first saw it, I was watching it actually with my wife, watching the presentation, and I looked at her and I'm like, this is a retirement opportunity. I mean, I'd been in real estate at that point about 17 years and hadn't really built up a whole lot of, retirement. There is no retirement for realtors unless you're really good at putting money away or buying assets or things like that. I had a few rental homes, things like that, but I could see where eXp honestly could be like this built-in retirement plan. And
right.
that was the thing that really caught my eye the most.
You mentioned the liabilities. Talk about that. Like as a broker owner, and again, I've never been a broker owner. I've been a team leader and we had a good team, but I still wasn't, liable in that sense, just if there was any issues, I'd certainly be named in them, I guess. But was that was that a big relief for you? The liability you had to deal with that?
Yeah, that was pretty big. I mean, I had, unfortunately, I had one lawsuit against us while I was my own broker owner. It was frivolous. I mean, it was a totally unsubstantiated lawsuit, but it still cost me $10,000 out of my pocket. That was my deductible for my insurance, and you got to pay it because they had to get attorneys involved to say it was frivolous.
No, I hear you.
So that was a big deal, and my insurance was going to triple the following year.
Okay, it's big.
Yeah.
I hear you. So now coming over here, you talked about the retirement, which I mean, talk about that some more. I mean, that's a big thing for all of us, I think, because there is no end in sight. I mean, it's just, my wife and I, we had a small team. We were at Keller Williams for a long time. And I think our biggest year, we did, 180 some deals. I don't know, just, small, I'm talking like 4 agents probably, just small team, but it was big. It was, it was killing me. I mean, even that right there, it was just like, oh my gosh, there's just, I remember going on vacation. There's no vacation, I'm taking my laptop with me, I'm on the phone the whole time I'm gone, just.
I had systems set up and systems with people and technology and things like that. So I was very system oriented anyways, but systems cost money too. And, when you have people leverage, those people cost you money. So I could go away on vacations and stuff and not have to worry too much that my business wasn't working, or I couldn't go away completely, or it would fall down around it, because it's still depended on me to sell in order to do anything. But I looked at the way I was in real estate for the prior 17 years. It was this big transaction wheel. It was you're constantly having to do transactions, like a big hamster wheel of just climbing on, and no end in sight. Okay, what are you doing next year? Oh, I got to do more transactions. Or you want to add this up? I got to do more deals. There was never this thing where like I could slow down or even step off the wheel and have money coming into me. It just didn't exist. So that was a big eye-opening thing to me. I've always been interested in passive income and things like that, rental properties. I even got involved in a multi-level marketing kind of company for a period of about 4 years at one point too. It didn't really pay all that well, but because of the idea of passive income or making money while you were sleeping kind of thing, kind of resonated with me. Doing something good one time and having it pay you significantly over the period of years, like rental properties do.
Sure.
Especially if they're paid off. If they're not, they sometimes can become a liability. But so I mean, that's the one thing I really never liked about real estate, is that you're constantly firing yourself every time you're successful, and you had to go rehire yourself and then fire yourself again. So there was never a sell at one time and continue to be paid for it.
Sure. Well, I think, there's, I mean, right now there's only one way to make more money in real estate, and that's do more deals. Which is more of everything. It's more mileage on your car. It's more weekends away from your kids. It's more, late nights on the
Stress.
computer. It's just, it's more of everything, and that's okay. But again, how do you get off of that? Whatever, at what point does that just, the other thing for me, I think I'd try and hit, I was with a guy this morning actually, and we hooked up because a month, let's see, it was December 2nd. He gets a call. I think it was like a Monday morning, but he gets a call that his 32-year-old son had passed away.
Oh,
Out of nowhere. I mean, talk about a curveball, whatever. And it's just, we got together this morning just to talk and kind of connect and catch up a little bit and everything. A really good guy here in town, but and he's been in real estate for a long time, but just life happens. You know what I mean? I mean, 4 years ago, I had the prostate cancer, and again, we got through it. Everything is good, but there's about 6 months there where we didn't do deals, but we had built a stream of passive income that would cover our bills. And I can't tell you the peace of mind and just knowing that you're not stressing out that whether I'm sick or there's some big family crisis going on or whatever, that I got to get out there and still hustle and make things happen, whatever, because my family can't, we're not going to eat this month if we don't. And there's so many realtors that are kind of like that month to month, check to check, or, maybe you bank up for a few months, but you got to get back at it because, whatever, it's all running out. There is, from so many, not that passive income. So talk about that real quick with the passive income here. Like, I know the stock bonuses. So talk about your production in the last couple of years. I mean, I know explain how the icon status works, because you've hit icon both years. Can you talk about that for a minute and then just what that's been for you?
Yeah, so icons, I mean, that was a big thing for me too, is because I saw that, hey, okay, they have a $16,000 cap. But once you cap, which basically we're at 80-20 splits, once you pay $80,000, or once you make about $80,000, you're capped. Then you have to close another 20 transactions after capping, and you become what's called an icon. And you have to apply to be an icon. So you have to be given back to the company, given back to your community, which we do anyways. And if you're permitted to be an icon or designated to be an icon because of your level of contribution, you get your $16,000 that you paid in as cap back in the form of stock, which to me was awesome. It's a no-brainer. I knew I was going to be an icon, I mean, just because of my normal production. So I look at it like, man, if I'm here 10 years, that's $160,000 in stock. That's a pretty nice retirement, especially if that stock goes up in value. If it does, if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's sitting there.
Sure.
And I have access to it at some point, So I feel like I'm going to be doing this for 10 plus years and be an icon each year. So that was one. And then the other income stream was taking just a little piece of every commission you make, 5%, and being able to buy company stock at a discount. That's what other people can do at their companies, 401ks and things like that we don't have the opportunity as a real estate professional. So 5% of your commission, you don't even notice it. But it adds up over time. I think I'm somewhere around 7,400 or something like that shares of stock right now in less than 2 years. So.
Yeah, and you think about that. You do that. Let's say you do that for the next 10 years. What does that look like? I mean, 5 times that. I mean, that's good. I mean, that's amazing, and especially if it does what we think it's going to do. I mean, again, I think it's going to be doing this up and down as it's working its way up.
As every stock.
Yeah. Over time, here's what it does. Whatever. So, no, that's huge. I think for agents and to be able to hit that. So, just to make sure you understand that. So when you cap, which is a $16,000 cap, like in our market here, our average price right now about $330,000. So really about 8 deals, at that price would cap you. So give or take, depending on the price range of the homes, but you cap plus 20.
10, 12 deals.
Yeah. So as you cap plus 20 deals and you get all that back in the form of stock, and so huge bonus, because I was at 100% company prior to coming here. It was basically $249 a deal, $50 a month. And I've been there for 9 years and I'm good and whatever. So when I took a look at this, and even that right there, we were still paying 9-10 grand a year in fees because of the deals we were doing, So to be able to, to have that opportunity now to get all that back, like that's huge. Like you said, a no-brainer.
Yeah, we have 100% companies here, obviously they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Pay per transaction companies, Remax is still, all those guys. it's funny when they call to like recruit or send me stuff. I'm like, well, my split with my company was 240% over the last 2 years. Can you pay me twice what I earn?
Yeah.
No? Okay, then this conversation's over.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm unrecruitable because of that. I mean, realistically, because of what they offer in stock compensation, getting your cap back, and then also the revenue share piece too, all of that adds up to pretty sweet commission split.
Yeah, for sure. Where do you see yourself? I mean, like 5 years from now, what do you think? You know, you said you'd probably be doing real estate for another 10 years or so, whatever.
Yeah, I'll
But
probably still be
how old are
doing
you,
real
Aaron?
estate.
How old are you?
43.
43. Okay. So do you think I mean, you really, I mean, I think the thing I love about this, I think within 5 years, just 3 to 5 years, I think really a lot of people, you've at least got options.
Yeah, I think I have my youngest kids like 6.5 years from graduating high school. So that's realistically the time frame, you know, by about time I'm 50 years old. If I want to move to another place, like my wife and I love Hawaii, and I could sell real estate there, the average price a little bit higher. So I wouldn't have to sell as much, you know,
Yeah.
and I could still keep my team operating here, you know, so that's the nice thing with eXp too, is I can be in 2 locations, run 2 different teams or businesses, and have 1 cap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
One of the nice things too, just to share, and I think maybe talk on this, like, you know, the fact that you can build a team that you're not responsible for, in the sense that you don't have to worry about training them, you don't have to worry about, you know, feeding them leads, you don't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. I mean, I do like that aspect. I mean, we're all in there helping each other, and we're all working together on this thing, which is great. I mean, honestly, for me, I don't know how it compares to what you've experienced in the past, but I know you had your own brokerage, but I think more collaboration going on here than I've ever seen in all my years of real estate. I mean,
Yeah. And I think, you know, too, that I kind of have a little bit of a benefit, I guess, being the icon. You get that icon tag in the workplace and things like that. I know that I've got, I think, right around 4 to 5 referrals working right now that are from other eXp agents across the country. And I've got 6 different buyers I know right off the top of my head that are with eXp agents across the country shopping for homes right now. So it's pretty awesome when you can think that it's such a tight-knit community. We know that if transactions close, it only helps the company, which in turn helps stock price, all that. So everybody's working towards the same goal. I know they say that at a lot of companies, but there's no benefit really to keep it in the same brand.
Right.
Not for the agent. For us, there is, but.
Right. For sure. What would you say, just to wrap it up, what would you say to like a broker owner that might be looking at this interview right here that we're doing, who, you know, there's all kinds of preconceived things out there about eXp. Oh, it's this, it's that, or whatever. Here's why it's working. Here's why it won't work. Or there's all kinds of stuff out there, whatever. What would you say to a broker owner that maybe has never seen it before? And they really just, they're not, you know. Like,
you owe it to yourself to actually sit down and watch it. Actually digest the information. You know, don't come in with preconceived notion of, you know, I'm getting 100%. I'm the broker. You know, in all reality, you're not. I was there. You're not getting anywhere close to 100% after your expenses and stuff that come with just being a broker, or even a big team leader, you know. So I would say coming in with an open mind, just watching it, evaluate it for yourself, see if it's going to fit your model. There's plenty of ways to tweak it to make it fit.
And that'll take time. How long after I showed you? I forget. I showed you. I think I want to say it was like March of 2018, February or March of 2018. We joined in February.
It was February. Yeah.
Okay, February. And then when did you actually make the move over here? Was it?
My date with my rollover date's April 1st. But since I was the broker, I had to wait for my 8 agents to come in. So eXp allowed me to do what's called a letter of intent, which is saying I was going to come over in the next 90 days. So my first transaction didn't really happen until June, but because I had to wait for all my agents to get in first. Right.
So it took you a couple of months of really just digging into this and evaluating it. I mean, and depending, you know, some people it takes, you know, maybe a year or whatever. I mean, just there's a lot to figure out with it, but I love, you know, eXp will help you figure that out. You know, they want to make it work. That's the thing I love. I mean, I love even the new thing now where if an agent is capped at the office where they are now, they can carry that cap over here. And so they actually don't even start paying that 80-20 split until the anniversary date of.
I didn't even know that was a possibility.
You know, yeah, that's, I mean, think about that. I mean, if they, because I've had that happen before. You know, I talked to like a Keller Williams agent, they just cap, so they're on 100% until November. You know, well, if they come over here, eXp will honor that cap. They don't start paying the 80-20 until November.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. You know, they're starting to get CE credits now in the training. They're working on that, you know, so that the training in there would be, you know, we can actually get, you know, continuing education credits for it, which is nice.
Yeah,
so,
the training's amazing. Plus, they give you a KV core for free. You know, if you're just a single agent, you know, that's, I think the team model's only a couple $100 to have it, which is way cheaper than I'm paying for commission. Same, but
totally. I just think for the broker owners, the ones that really get it and really look at it. I mean, they'll all say this, and I've met with several. They'll say, you know, they want what's best for their agents, and I get that. You know, and to me, it's like, if you really understand this, if you want what's best for your agents, you know, whatever, this company, stock bonuses, more training than you could ever possibly provide. I mean, I looked this week, there's over 80 hours this week of training, you know, the lead system with KV Core, you know, the chance to actually help build that team and get the revenue share coming, more money for them if they want to do that. They don't have to. It's a small percentage of people that are doing that. But I mean, there's so many perks in that, and it's such a win for everybody, the broker owner, you know, but also for the agent.
Yeah, that you as the broker owner can help show the people you bring in how they can be their own broker owner and create their own team. And their
right. How big do you think that is? I mean, to have to have ownership.
How big is it?
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, for me, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have that.
Because nobody has that out there.
Right.
You could be the number one guy in your company doing 300 deals a year. Do you have ownership?
Right.
Well, like, you don't, you know, whereas here we all do, you know, and because of the stock and everything else. So anyway, anything else you want to add real quick?
No, that's it. I mean, we're still plugging away. So I have no regrets whatsoever for coming over here.
I hear you. Well, good.
It's been pretty seamless. The move was pretty seamless. And as I've moved forward, it's been awesome. So.
Very cool. And you're going to the shareholders meeting?
We'll be in shareholders, and I have to. That's part of to get some of my icon stuff.
Yeah, there you go. And it's a fun time. It's in Orlando. So
yeah.
Go up in April. Yeah. I still got to get my tickets. I haven't got my ticket yet, but I'm going.
I haven't either. I think we have till the 31st.
31st. Price goes up. So
yeah.
Gotta get that done. So cool. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for jumping on here. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and guys, if you have questions, I mean, Aaron, real quick, throw out your number. Do you mind just if somebody even down there in Texas or an agent across the country that might even watch this, we're going to post it on Facebook. But if they want to reach out to you, can you give your number real quick?
Yeah, cell phone, 817-939-6584. Or you can reach me at aaron@kinnre.com.
There you go. So there's his company. And my number, 719-321-0335. So anything we can do to answer any questions for you. But I will say, if you haven't seen it yet, come look at it. You know, like he said, you owe it to yourself to at least look. Just get the info. It never hurts to look. It's free to look. You know, you don't have to do anything. I just tell people, like, look, evaluate it for yourself. Maybe it's for you, maybe not. But you don't know what you don't know. You don't know if it's for you or not if you've never seen it. So maybe it's a fit now. Maybe it's a fit 3 years from now. Something happens at the company where you're at, or the economy. There's so many different factors here. But it is definitely worth just a look to see how this thing works and see if it's a fit for you. So again, Aaron, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Okay. Have a great week. Thank you guys. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
See you later.